Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For the previous two classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಹುಡುಗರು ಓನ್ಲಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡಿರವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡಿರವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ಗೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನೀವು 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಡಿರವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಈ 3 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 45 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿರವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಸಿ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Model question paper 1, so part 3, so 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ questions. Okay, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ 8 questions ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಓನ್ಲಿ 5. 8 questions ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಓನ್ಲಿ 5 questions. ನೋಡಿ, 3 questions ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ 1, ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸರಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. 100% ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೀವು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 35 to 40 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬರೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನೋಡಿ, so this is question number 19. So write any 3 properties of electric field lines ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Okay, so answer any 5 of the following questions. Okay, total 8 questions ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಓನ್ಲಿ 5 questions. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So properties of electric charge, properties of electric field lines, very very important. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ write any 3 properties of electric field lines ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. So number of characteristics already ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So electric field lines never intersect with each other. Simple properties ಮಾತ್ರ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, electric field lines, the first property. Electric field lines never intersect with each other. Okay, electric field lines ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಇಂಟರ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Why 2 electric field lines never intersect with each other? Suppose 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, suppose if 2 electric field lines are intersect, at the point of intersection we will have 2 electric fields. One point ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 electric fields ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. So that is why electric field lines never intersect with each other. And electric field lines never be closed loops. Okay, electric field lines, so that is also called electric lines of force. Okay, the electric field lines never be closed loops. Magnetic field lines are continuous closed loops, but electric field lines can never be closed loops. Electric field lines can never be closed loops. Electric field lines never intersect with each other. Electric field lines can never be closed loops. Okay. An electric field line start from positive point charge and terminate on negative point charge. Electric field line starts from positive point charge. Electric field line starts from positive point charge and terminate on negative point charge. Okay, so electric field line that is always start from positive point charge, terminate on negative point charge. So two equal and opposite point charges ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ electric field line ಈ ರೀತಿ formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Start from positive point charge. Electric field line and the meaning ಏನು? It is an imaginary line along which a unit positive test charge would move in the field. So this is imaginary line. E line and now unit positive test charge ಇದ್ರೆ due to positive charge plus Q naught ripple ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Due to negative charge unit positive test charge ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ attract ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ electric field line start from positive point charge and terminate on negative point charge. Okay, so these are the electric field lines around two equal and opposite point charges. Okay, the electric field lines formation around equal and opposite point charges. So electric field lines contract lengthwise, which represents force of attraction between two equal and opposite point charges. That is also the property of electric field line. Electric field lines contract lengthwise, which represents force of attraction between so equal and opposite point charges. Okay, and a tangent drawn at any point of the electric field line, which gives the direction of electric field at that point. Suppose I want electric field line direction here. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಜೆಂಟ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, a tangent drawn at any point on the electric field line which gives direction of electric field at that point. So this is also very important property. Okay, a tangent drawn at any point on electric field line. Tangent drawn at any point on electric field line which gives tangent drawn at any point on electric field line which gives direction of electric field. Gives direction of electric field at that point. Okay, so this is another very important property of electric field line. Okay, and radially diverging electric field line produces around isolated positive point charge. The positive point charge ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ surrounding electric field lines ನಮಗೆ produce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Radially diverging electric field lines produces around isolated positive point charge. Okay, ಅದೇ negative point charge ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ radially converging electric field lines produce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? Radially converging electric field lines produces around isolated negative point charge. The first imaginary lines drawn on corner. These are the imaginary lines. So the surrounding ನಮಗೆ radially converging field lines. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ imaginary line ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ನಾಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ this is the direction of electric field lines. Electric field lines around isolated negative point charge. Radially converging electric field lines produces around isolated negative point charge. Okay, so this is also very simple. Okay, ನಾನು actually ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6 properties mention ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. So at least ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 3 properties mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Okay, but one property extra mention ಮಾಡಿರಿ better. So fifth one, radially. What type of electric field lines produces around isolated positive point charge? ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ 1 mark ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So radially diverging electric field lines produces around isolated positive point charge. Okay, radially diverging electric field lines produces around isolated positive point charge and radially converging field lines produces around isolated negative point charge. Isolated negative point charge. Okay, so these are some very important properties of electric field lines. So at least ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 4 properties ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಾನು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So electric field lines never intersect with each other. Okay, electric field lines never cross each other, never intersect with each other. Electric field lines can never be closed loops. Electric field lines can never be closed loops. Loops ತರ electric field lines formation ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. The electric field lines start from positive point charge and terminate on negative point charge. The electric field lines contract lengthwise, which represents force of attraction between two equal and opposite point charge. So a tangent drawn at any point on the electric field line which gives the direction of electric field at that point. So electric field lines are directed away from positive point charge. That means radially diverging electric field lines produces around isolated positive point charge, and radially converging electric field lines produces around isolated negative point charge. So other properties ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ 1 mark ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Sketch the electric field lines around 2 equal point charges. Right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ electric field lines actually exerts the lateral pressure. Okay, so here the electric field lines exerts lateral pressure on each other, actually which represents the force of repulsion between like point charges. Okay, so 2 equal like point charges is right. So these are electric field lines formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. actually field lines ಮೇಲೆ the lateral pressure exists ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So this one represents the force of repulsion between like point charges. So, and the direction of electric intensity in it, that is always perpendicular to the surface of positively or negatively charged spheres. So these are the some very important properties of electric field lines. Okay, so next question is this one. So derive the expression for potential energy of a system of 2-point charges in the absence of external electric field. It was a very simple derivation. Okay. The first year, let us consider two locations. The two locations ನಾನು choose ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದು A ಅಂತ choose ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ and another one is B. Okay. So let us consider an isolated point charge plus Q1. So this is the first point charge. Okay. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಇಂದ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಎ ವರ್ಗೂ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ Q1 ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಟು ದ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಎ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎ ವರ್ಗೂ Q1 ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎರಡು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ Q1 charge from infinity to point A, so that is 0. Okay, so this is the first step in the derivation. So work done in moving Q1 charge from infinity to point A. Work done in moving Q1 charge from infinity to point A. So ಅದನ್ನ W1 ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, that is 0. ಯಾಕೆ 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ because there is no initial electric field. Because there is no initial electric field. Initial electric field ಇಲ್ಲ. So that is why work done in moving Q1 charge from infinity to point A, that is equal to 0. Okay. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ Q2 charge from infinity to the location B. Okay, so now let us consider one more charge, that is plus Q2. So it is being moved from infinity to point B. Now work has to be done against electric force that is produced by Q1 charge. So Q2 charge na infinity to point B move ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ, Q1 ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು Q2 ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ Q2 ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ B. ಓಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ electric potential at point B due to Q1 charge, okay, into the moving charge ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೋಡಿ R12, so this is the separation between Q1 and Q2 charge. R12 is the separation between Q1 and Q2 charge. So work done in moving Q2 from infinity to point B. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ VB1 into Q2 ಅಂತ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So VB1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ electric potential at point B due to Q1 charge. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ electric potential at a point due to isolated point charge ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನೋಡಿ, electric potential at a point due to a point charge 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ VB1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ electric potential at point B due to q1 charge, instead of q ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ q1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, and distance from point charge to observation point, that is r12 ಅಂದ್ರೆ VB1 place ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 divided by r12 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರಿನಾ, into q2. So this is work done in moving q2 from infinity to point B. This is step 1, this is step 2, and finally now find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು total work done. But the potential energy of system of 2 point charges andre that is actually measured by work done in moving 2 point charges, that means q1 and q2, from infinity to there, respective locations. That is the meaning of potential energy of system of 2 point charges. Okay, work done in moving 2 point charges from infinity to their respective locations. That is the meaning of potential energy of system of 2 point charges. So here the total work done W is equal to n ಬರುತ್ತೆ, W1 plus W2, W1 is 0, W2 is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12. So this total work done, that is stored as the potential energy. Okay, so this total, so each step or each step, so this total work done is stored as electrostatic potential energy. So that is U. That means W is equal to U. Therefore, U is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12. So this is the expression for the potential energy of system of 2 point charges in the absence of external electric field. Okay, so this is also very important for 3 mark. Okay, so 3 mark ali 2 questions complete ಆಯ್ತು. Okay, next third question discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. Question number 21. Okay, very simple question ಇದೆ. Write any 3 limitations of Ohm's law. So Ohm's law ಏನಿದೆ, that is applicable only for metallic conductors. Ohm's law na ನಾವು metallic conductors ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So that is the limitation of Ohm's law. First limitation of Ohm's law, what is that? Ohm's law is applicable. Okay, Ohm's law is applicable only for metallic conductors. Okay, Ohm's law is applicable only for metallic conductors. Okay, so this is the limitation of Ohm's law. It is not applicable for semiconductors, diode, triode, transistor, thermistor, PN junction. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ Ohm's law ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So it is not applicable for semiconductors. Okay, it is not applicable for semiconductors, diodes, okay, triodes, transistor, thermistor, thermistor, PN junction. Okay, so ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸೆಮಿಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, diodes, triodes, transistor, thermistor, PN junction, vacuum tubes, and so on. Okay, and Ohm's law holds good only if all physical conditions remain constant. That means temperature, pressure, strain. ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ holds good only if all physical conditions remains constant. Okay, all physical conditions, that means temperature, pressure, strain, so ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿದೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ವೇರಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಇಸ್ not applicable for very high and very low temperature. Okay, so that is also the limitation. Ohm's law is not applicable for very high and very low temperature. Okay, temperature maximum ಇದೆ, temperature minimum ಇದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ limitations of Ohm's law, and it is not applicable for the non-ohmic devices. ನೋಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ non-ohmic devices, so many examples ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So Ohm's law is applicable only for metallic conductors. It is not applicable for semiconductors, diodes, triodes, transistor, thermistor, PN junction, vacuum tube, and discharge tubes. Ohm's law holds good only if all physical conditions, that means temperature, pressure, strain, that should be kept constant. Pressure vary ಆಗಬಾರದು, temperature vary ಆಗಬಾರದು. So physical conditions ಏನಿದೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And Ohm's law is not applicable for very high and very low temperature. So these are some very important limitations of Ohm's law. So next question, state Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's laws. Name the Kirchhoff's law, which is consequence of principle of conservation of energy. But Kirchhoff's laws, two laws ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು current law, another voltage law. Kirchhoff's first law is called current law, that is also called junction rule, that is also called a node rule. Okay, Kirchhoff's current law first. Kirchhoff's first law. So that is very simple. The algebraic sum of currents at a junction is zero in an electrical network. Okay, this is the statement of Kirchhoff's current law. In an electrical network, algebraic sum of currents, algebraic sum of currents at a junction, algebraic sum of currents at a junction is zero. Okay, so ಈ ತರನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in an electrical network, the sum of currents entering the junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. Okay, so this is another statement of Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, in an electrical network, the sum of currents. So actually, this is very simple. The sum of currents entering, sum of currents entering the junction, sum of currents entering the junction is equal to sum of currents is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬರೀರಿ. So in an electrical network, algebraic sum of currents at a junction is zero, or in an electrical network, the sum of currents entering the junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. So I think a mathematical expression summation of I is equal to zero. This is the mathematical expression for Kirchhoff's current law. Okay. In an electrical network, algebraic sum of currents at a junction is zero. That is first law. Okay. Second one, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law. So two different statements ಇದೆ. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರೀಬಹುದು. So in a mesh of an electrical network, the first very simple statement, in a mesh of an electrical network, mesh of an electrical network, algebraic sum of voltages, algebraic sum of voltages is zero. Algebraic sum of voltages is zero. That is a mathematical expression summation of V. Algebraic sum of voltages is equal to zero. So ಈ ತರ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Or in other words, the statement now ಒಂಥರ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. In a mesh of an electrical network, okay, algebraic sum of product of current and resistance, in different parts of electrical network, is equal to algebraic sum of EMF, algebraic sum of EMF in that mesh. So this is another statement of Kirchhoff's voltage law. So this is also called the loop rule. And this law is based on law of conservation of energy. Okay. So name the Kirchhoff's law, which is a consequence of principle of conservation of energy. Okay. So that is Kirchhoff's loop rule. Kirchhoff's voltage law is a consequence of principle of conservation of energy. Okay, so loop rule is the consequence. Loop rule is the consequence of principle of conservation. Principle of conservation of energy. What is the significance of Kirchhoff's current law ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು law of conservation of electric charge ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. So what is the principle of Kirchhoff's voltage law ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ so law of conservation of energy. What is the consequence? Name the law which is the consequence of principle of conservation of energy ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is a loop rule. Just ನೀವು loop rule ಅಂತ mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Okay. So loop rule. So this is based on law of conservation of energy. So it's a mathematical expression, summation of IR is equal to summation of E. Okay, algebraic sum of product of current and resistance in different parts of the mesh, that is equal to algebraic sum of EMF in that mesh. Okay, so this is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So two laws, actually two different statements in each law. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay. Next question discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. So obtain the expression for radius of circular path of charged particle in a magnetic field. Obtain the expression for radius of circular path of charged particle in a magnetic field. Okay. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ first ನಾವು perpendicular uniform magnetic field ತಗೋಬೇಕು. Okay, equidistant cross mark ತಗೋಣ. Okay, equidistant cross mark shows the perpendicular uniform magnetic field. So magnetic field lines cross mark shows magnetic field lines are directed into the plane of the board. Okay, so here cross mark shows direction of magnetic field is normally inverse, directed into the plane of the board. So when a charged particle enters the perpendicular uniform magnetic field, so charged particle describes the circular path. Okay, so the charged particle ಏನಿದೆ the perpendicular uniform magnetic field ಅಲ್ಲಿ enter ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ actually it will experiences maximum force. Okay, so when the charged particle enters the perpendicular uniform magnetic field. Okay, the nature of trajectory of charged particle is circle. So it was a charged particle, sarina. So adu perpendicular magnetic field alli enter agide with velocity v vector, but this v vector normally inverse ide. So v vector along the tangential to the circular path irutte. Sarina, v vector is perpendicular to b vector andre angle between b vector and v vector is 90 degree. It will experiences maximum Lorentz force, that is QVB, and immediately the charged particle describes the circular path. So really now find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು radius of the circular path. Okay, now find Actually, if a particle moving along circular path means it requires centripetal force. Here, that is given by the Lorentz magnetic force. So, when a charged particle, charged particle enters enters perpendicular uniform magnetic field. This point is very important. It describes it describes the circular path. Okay, the force acting on charged particle due to perpendicular magnetic field. It is Fm is equal to QVB. Okay, so if a charged particle moving in circular path, it requires centripetal force. Okay, centripetal force acting on charged particle, that is mv square divided by mv square divided by r. So at equilibrium, so here the Lorentz magnetic force is equal to centripetal force. Okay, the centripetal force is given by the Lorentz magnetic force. So here centripetal force, that is given by the Lorentz magnetic force. So Lorentz magnetic force is QBB, centripetal force is mv square divided by r. 1v cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, r shift ಮಾಡಿ, r is equal to mv divided by qb. So this is the mathematical expression for radius of the path of charged particle in a magnetic field. R is equal to mv divided by qb. This is the radius of circular path of charged particle in a magnetic field. Okay, so the magnetism and moving charges are there. So when a charged particle enters perpendicular uniform magnetic field, and the charged particle circular path ಅಲ್ಲಿ move ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So in this case, the nature of trajectory is circular path. Okay, next question is this one. So name any three sources of energy loss in a transformer. Okay, name any three sources of energy loss in a transformer. This is very simple question. I do alternating current only lost topic transformer. So the four energy losses, sources of energy loss I mentioned. Okay. So number one, loss due to heating. Loss due to heating. Is to mention madave saathu. Okay. The loss due to flux leakage. Loss due to flux leakage. And loss due to eddy currents. Eddy currents in the energy loss agate. Eddy currents are current loops developed in conducting material due to varying magnetic flux linked with conducting material. Due to production of eddy currents, heat is produced in mass of matter, which results loss of energy. Okay, so loss due to eddy currents. Eddy currents produce agide andre so transformer ಅಲ್ಲಿ energy loss agate. Flux leakage ಆದರೆ energy loss ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, heat ಆದರೆ energy loss ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and loss due to magnetic hysteresis. Loss due to magnetic hysteresis. Magnetic hysteresis, uh, Magnetic hysteresis means the phenomenon of lagging of magnetic induction behind magnetic intensity in a ferromagnetic material subjected to cycles of magnetization and demagnetization. So ferromagnetic material ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐರನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟೆರಿಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟೆರಿಸಿಸ್ ಇಂದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Loss due to resistance of winding. Loss due to resistance of winding. Okay, so these are some very important sources of energy loss in a transformer. Okay, next question. Write any three characteristics of nuclear forces. Nuclear forces give number of properties, number of characteristics in that. Okay, nuclear forces are the strongest forces in nature. Is it not? Nuclear forces are simple again mention ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Nuclear forces are number one, the strongest forces in nature. Nuclear forces are strongest forces in nature. Okay, strongly attractive in nature. Strongest forces in nature, strongly attractive in nature. Okay, nuclear forces are charge independent forces. Charge independent forces. So nuclear force does not depend on the charge, because nuclear force between proton neutron in the same level. Nuclear force between proton neutron same level. The meaning nuclear forces are charge independent forces, and nuclear forces are spin dependent forces. Because nuclear force between two nucleons with like spin, that is much stronger as compared to nuclear force between two nucleons with unlike spin. Nuclear force between two nucleons with like spin is much stronger as compared to nuclear force between two nucleons with unlike spin. That means the nuclear forces are spin dependent, charge independent, but spin dependent forces. Okay, and nuclear forces are non-central forces. Non-central forces. Nuclear forces are non-central forces and non-gravitational forces. Non-gravitational forces. That means it does not depends on gravity. Non-central forces means nuclear forces does not act along the line joining the centers of two nucleons. Hence, nuclear forces are non-central forces, non-gravitational forces. Nuclear forces does not obey. Nuclear forces are does not obey inverse square law. Does not obey inverse square law. Coulomb's law obeys inverse square law. Gravitational force obeys inverse square law, but nuclear force does not obey inverse square law. Okay, and nuclear forces are short range forces. Short range forces, because Inside the nucleus, nucleons interact only with its nearest neighbors. Hence, it is short range, and hence it is saturated. Nuclear forces are saturated, saturated forces. And nuclear forces are exchange forces. Nuclear forces are exchange forces. Okay, because inside the nucleus, nuclear force exists between two nucleons, that is due to continuous exchange of pi mesons, continuous exchange of pi mesons. Hence, nuclear forces are exchange forces. So many properties ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ at least ಒಂದು 3 properties ನೀವು mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. So nuclear forces, at least ಒಂದು 4 properties, 1 or 2 properties ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ mention ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ better. So nuclear forces are strongest forces in nature, strongly attractive in nature, charge independent forces, spin dependent forces, non-central, non-gravitational, does not obey inverse square law. And nuclear forces are short range forces, saturated forces, and exchange forces. These are some very important characteristics of nuclear forces. And this is the last question. Give any three differences of p type and n type. So the semiconductor electronics chapter of the last chapter. So this is very, very, very simple, very important. Differences between p-type semiconductors and n-type semiconductors. Okay, so one by one discuss now. So the first difference. P-type semiconductor means semiconductor doped with trivalent impurity atoms. Correct? Semiconductor, semiconductor doped with, semiconductor doped with trivalent, trivalent impurity atoms. Semiconductor doped with trivalent impurity atoms, that is p-type semiconductor. Okay, semiconductor doped with, semiconductor doped with pentavalent impurity atoms. Pentavalent impurity atoms. So that is called n-type semiconductor. Okay, so p-type semiconductors are the majority charge carriers. Holes. Okay, correct? Holes are the majority charge carriers. Majority charge carriers. Holes are majority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor. So electrons are majority charge carriers. Electrons are majority charge carriers in n-type semiconductor. Okay, electrons are majority charge carriers in n-type semiconductor. Okay, third difference. So electrons are minority charge carriers. Minority charge carriers in p-type semiconductors. So holes are minority charge carriers. Holes are minority charge carriers in n-type semiconductor. And in p-type, conductivity is relatively less. Okay, conductivity is relatively less in p-type. So here conductivity is conductivity is relatively more. Conductivity is relatively more in n-type semiconductor. Okay, number of differences ಇದೆ. So at least on the 4 to 5 differences we mentioned ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಕು. So here conductivity is relatively less, but in n-type conductivity is relatively more. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ majority charge carriers electrons ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? And here the energy level of impurity atom, energy level of impurity atom close to which band? Valence band. So here energy level of impurity atom. So p-type, n-type differences discuss ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Okay, so this is p-type, this one is n-type. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ energy level of impurity atom ಏನಿದೆ, so that is very close to valence band. ಸರಿನಾ? Energy level of impurity atom is very close to the valence band.